My trans sister said I was dead to her for missing one event, so I gave her the funeral she wanted. My sister Leia came out as trans 3 years ago, and I've been her biggest cheerleader through every milestone, every document change, and every small victory. But somewhere between the hormones and the name change, she also transitioned into someone who weaponizes her identity like a loaded gun. I'm talking about the kind of person who posts, "If you can't handle me at my worst, you're transphobic," while actively destroying anyone who shows her an ounce of support. She demanded I skip my chemotherapy to drive her to get her nails done, and called me transphobic when I said no. She screamed at our parents for dead naming her in their sleep, in their literal sleep. She got my best friend Rory, who's also trans, banned from our support group for making it about her when Rory mentioned her own surgery date. She even told our 74-year-old grandma she was literally killing trans people for asking if Leia wanted children someday. I tried talking to her, telling her that this behavior would just push people away for nothing, and she'd regret it in a few years. I told how I was still being kind to others despite having cancer, so she posted my private medical information on Twitter, saying I was using chronic illness as an excuse to avoid supporting my trans sister. I was heartbroken and felt both betrayed and frustrated. But the real breaking point came last week at her second name change celebration party. Yes, second, because the first one didn't have enough allies. I was in the ER because my cancer was trying to come back from remission, texting her updates from my hospital bed. Leia's response? A public Facebook post that said, "My brother just proved he'd rather die than support his trans sister. I'm officially declaring him dead to me. If you're really my friend, you'll block him too." 67 people unfriended me while I was getting treatment. My own support network, gone, because I was too sick to attend her party. That's when I realized Leia wasn't struggling with her transition. She was thriving on the power it gave her to hurt people without consequence. And if she wanted to declare me dead while I was literally fighting to stay alive, then maybe it was time I gave her the funeral she so desperately wanted. I decided to lean into her declaration. If I was dead to her, then I'd give her exactly what she asked for. I started simple. Changed my voicemail to a funeral home message. "You've reached the memorial line for James. Please leave a message after the tone." Then I had flowers delivered to her apartment. Leia called me 43 times that day. I didn't answer. Next, I sent sympathy cards to all our mutual relatives that said things like, "Thinking of you during this difficult time of loss." I signed them, "A friend who cares." Within hours, my phone was blowing up with confused aunts and uncles asking Leia what was happening. Yup, I was framing it so that Leia had declared my death. Whenever I ran into anyone from her friend group around town, I'd mention casually that I was planning a celebration of life for myself. Since Leia declared me dead, I figured I should honor her wishes, I'd say with a sad smile. It's what she wanted. Word spread fast. People started asking Leia about the service. She tried explaining that I wasn't actually dead, but that made her look even worse. "So you lied about your brother dying?" they'd ask. "That's really messed up, Leia." The masterpiece came together when I scheduled my funeral for the same day as her third name change party. Oh yes, she'd planned a third one. I rented the community center across the street from her venue, put up a big sign, "Celebration of life for James, beloved brother." Even hired a friend to play somber piano music that could be heard from her party space. I invited everyone with a simple message. Leia declared me dead to her on social media last week. Since she's made her wishes clear, I'm honoring them with a proper goodbye. Light refreshments will be served. The turnout was incredible. Turns out I wasn't the only one Leia had burned. Many relatives, and even Rory showed up. My parents came too, confused but supportive. Meanwhile, Leia's third party only had 8 attendees. She could see the crowd at my event through the windows. Every time someone left her party to come to mine, she got more frantic. She tried crashing my funeral, screaming about transphobia and manipulation, but Rory stood up and spoke the truth. "The only person being transphobic here is you, Leia. You use our community as a weapon. You hurt trans people who don't serve your ego. You declared your brother dead while he was in the hospital with cancer. We're here to mourn the relationship you killed." Leia left in tears. No one attacked her identity. They just refused to let her use it as a shield for cruelty anymore. The best part? She couldn't complain about it online without admitting she declared me dead first. She couldn't play victim without explaining why her cancer-stricken brother was holding a funeral for himself. She'd trapped herself in her own narrative. These days, Leia tells people I'm dramatic and petty, but she stopped weaponizing her identity. She stopped declaring people dead when they couldn't serve her needs. And whenever she sees white lilies, she remembers the funeral she asked for and received.